Drop that. You see, we don't do the same thoughts no more. We don't do the same thoughts no more. She don't laugh the same way no more. We don't do the same. I'm a hustler, don't need man, one of y'all, you see it.
We get started in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Let us know where you're listening in from. Let's go.
Never be the same. That's just the way it is. Oh yeah.
It's time. Uh-oh. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Everything will be alright if you keep me next to you. You don't know about me, but I'll bet you want to. Everything will be alright if we just keep dancing like we're.
We got 1 minute, guys. 1 minute.
Gonna tell.
Let's go.
And we did that too. She thinks it's special, but it's all reused. That was our place. I found it first. I made the jokes you tell to her when she's with you. Do you get deja vu when she's with you? Do you get deja vu? Do you get deja vu?
She's a runner, she's a track star. She gon' run away when it gets hard. She can't take the pain, she can't get scarred. She hurt anyone that gets involved. Don't wanna commit, I take it this far. She gon' do the race, just not this one. Love is a game you used to chip off. When I was down to talk, you were hip for.
Who's ready to dominate Q2?
You get deja vu.
Yeah, be ready to beat Q2's numbers. Beat it, let's go. Versus Q1, what's gonna win?
Baby, hit that back and burn. Before her, I'm using her to lean and working. Close the window, curse right up in your skirt. Take off, hit the curve to lean and working.
All right, I'm gonna stop this share. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the first call of Q2. Woo, man, Q1 has came, it has went, it is either eating you up and spitting you out, or you did it to them. So I'm curious, are you guys confident going into Q2 that your Q2 numbers are going to beat Q1? Let's go. Q2, are you going to beat Q1? That's what I want to know right now. Right? That's what I want to know right now. Will these numbers beat last quarter's numbers? No doubt. Absolutely. Yes. Keep dropping it in there. Keep dropping it in. All right. Perfect. That's what I like to see. The confidence, right? The confidence side of things. So what I want to jam on first, for those of you that don't know me, by the way, John Marone, the CINC conversion specialist. And for those of you that have been jumping on here for either your second call or your 200th one, welcome back. Anybody that's new, welcome to the call. I would just give you an idea of what we do is every other Monday, we jump in and the first thing we do is talk a little bit about the mindset shifts that we need to have. And then we get into skill set. Okay. Now I want to talk about a post I made the other day on my Facebook and on my Instagram about, am I good enough? Right? Am I good enough? And I think it's a question that we always ask ourselves, no matter really where we're at in our life, right? You know, it doesn't even need to be like where you came from a bad family, right? Or you came from a bad situation of why you're saying, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Those words show up when we're about to step into an arena we never stepped into before. Right? Who here has ever said that to themselves of, man, am I good enough to get the things I want to get? Am I good enough to create the success that I want to create? And I think it's something that we all suffer from time to time, right? And I always talk about new levels, bring new devils. And so when I think about that question, we always ask ourselves, and then those limiting beliefs start to creep in, right? So it's like, all right, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start calling all these leads. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do all these things. And then you say, well, am I good enough? And these limited beliefs start to creep in. And then we take a step back, right? We take a step back from taking action on things that we said we truly want. And what's scary is that we never live a life that's full of true purpose, right? True purpose. And like I've interviewed a lot of phenomenal people in my world, right? Like I've interviewed the best of the best in many different industries. And what I realize is that they all ask themselves the same question sometimes. But what's the difference? They do it anyway. They go anyway. They push into the fear. They see the arena they never stepped in before. And yes, they have the same questions. Am I good enough? Can I do this? Am I able to? They have those same questions that you have. What's the difference? Those questions don't stop them. Those questions never stop them. You can't get away from those questions. That's just the reality. You can't get away from those questions of, am I good enough? How am I going to do this? What if I fail? You're not going to be able to get yourself past those questions. But what you can do is when you have those questions being presented to you, you step up into the present moment and you take control. Take control of something that you can control, right? Control the controllable. And the only thing you could do right now is that when you ask yourself that question is realize you are good enough. And you probably have evidence to prove it. So what I want to give everybody to do is a little assignment. I want you to do me a favor. In the chat right now, we'll start with this. In the chat, tell me a recent win that you had, that you didn't know that you can get, or a recent win that you had that you never hit that many transactions, never hit that many set appointments, and then you never lost that amount of weight. In the chat, tell me a goal that you recently hit over the last year that you have never hit before. Buying your own house, investment properties. What is it? Blow up the chat and let's see it. What is a goal that you have hit? Purchase my own home. Bought my first house. There you go. Keep dropping them in there. Right. Bought a house, ran a 5K. Got the last 3 of my buyers under contract on their first offer. Hell yeah. Closed on a coast project, developed into 50 home or 25 homes. Look, Greg, I'm already putting it up there saying 50 next time. Right? After 10 years, finally buying my first house. Closed 13 homes, paid off 15,000 in debt. These can keep coming. And the reason why I wanted you guys to bring this up is because your evidence of success is there. Your evidence that you've done something you've never done before is there. Remember that, right? Bring out these evidence, right? These files of success, bring them out. So if you don't have a running list of your most recent wins in the last year, even prior, you need to. What I tell a lot of people is create a win wall. Every time you have a win, put it on a Post-it and put it on a wall. And this wall is meant for one thing, right? And that is to remind you that you are good enough, that you can accomplish things that you never thought you could. So put those things on your win wall. And every time that you have that self-doubt, look at the evidence, which is that win wall. Look at the things that you did that you never thought you could do. Look at the things that you overcame that you never thought you could overcome. Look at the things that you've accomplished that people doubted you every step of the way. Now, if that doesn't provide you with enough clarity that you are good enough and you can smash and demolish the goals in your life, not sure what will. Now, here's the thing. Am I good enough? It's still going to come back, right? Oh my God, how am I going to do this? It's still going to come back. But now our new default is what? Looking at that win wall and saying, no, I've doubted myself before and I overcame it, and I'm doing it now. Let's overcome it. Let's beat it. Let's dominate. So create that win wall. And to be honest with you guys, like every time we doubt ourselves, it's not us doubting us, right? It's a story that we're giving the situation. Everything is a story. Everything is a story that we give it. So whatever you're doubting yourself on, what's the story you're giving it? And are you truly stopping in a moment and realizing that story A doesn't serve you, and B, that story is not real, right? It's not real. Look, we've never seen April 4th, 2022, 2:15 Central Time. We've never seen that before. So stop trying to predict it. Stop trying to predict. You want to predict the future? It's all in your habits and in your discipline. That's how you start to predict it. So this is what I challenge you, is when you have the feeling of, am I good enough? When you have the feeling of, how am I going to do this? Look at your evidence of success. Look at your win wall and understand, yes, you are. And to be honest, you're probably shooting too small. You're probably aiming too low. Aim a little higher. Don't be scared to go for it all. All right. Who's with me on that? Who's going to create a win wall? Who's going to create some files, some evidence of success? Because we all need it. I don't care who you are. I don't know where you're at in your life. We all need it. I promise you, nobody has a shield to self-doubt. I think that's the big takeaway for you guys. You look at some of these successful people, you're probably looking at some of the people in your market, looking at maybe some people online, and you're like, oh man, they're so confident. Man, they just, look at all this stuff they have. Oh, look at all these transactions they're doing. They had the same self-doubt that you have. What did they do? They had a default to remind them that they are good enough, to remind them why they're doing it. And then they took the action. Then they took the action steps. So if you guys are with me on that, I see a lot of yes. I see a lot of I am. Yes, I could do that. I love it. Create that win wall and let me know, right? Hit me up on Instagram at Real John Marone. Tag me in the post. I want to see your win wall. I want to see where your win wall is. And I want you to start doing it today. I want you to start doing it today. It's pretty cool. I had somebody reach out to me who we did this exercise with them last year, and they took a picture of it. And I remember last year they had it, and it was like 30 Post-its, and they took a picture of it this year, and it was insane. They had to take up 2 walls. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, right? That will keep you from giving into the self-doubt. So I love it. Let's get rocking and rolling. Let's go ahead and do a little role play. Here's what I want to do first. I want to open this up for somebody to do a role play session with me. But first, I want to know, is there something you're struggling with right now that is stopping you from converting? So drop that into the chat. I'm going to take 30 seconds or so. In the chat, is there something that is stopping you from converting? And be honest, this is where we got to be real with ourselves, right? Is there an objection? Right? Is there I'm not making the dials? All right, like what is it? What is it? And let's go. And I'm going to give it some time to kind of start popping up some of you guys' answers in here. And I'm going to kind of try to rapid fire some of these. Keep them coming, keep them coming. Boom, boom. There you go. What is stopping you from converting at a 33%, like what we do on our conversion day? All right. So I got some in here. I'm going to hit some of these, okay? Here we go. So we're going to hit, well, the fear of rejection one, I want to hit on that, Sunny, but I want to wait because that's a little heavier one that I could like kind of go off on. So I might hit that at the end. But that's usually the biggest thing, right? Let's be real, guys. These objections, like I'm just going to be honest. All right, let's just take a second here. These objections that are stopping you from converting, 90% of the time, that's not why you're not converting. You're scared of the rejection. You're scared to push through it. Like, am I wrong? I mean, maybe some of you guys, that's not the case, but on a consistent basis, we've trained over 8,000 real estate agents with our conversion, with a 33% conversion rate. And I know that's usually the main reason, just because of the numbers don't lie on that. right? It's not the objection itself. It's literally how we're perceiving that objection and our fear around it. But let's dive into the objections, right? Because let's talk about words we could use versus how we need to change our mindset. So we have just started to look. So Sue says, someone says, just starting to look. Perfect. That's exactly what our site is for. Hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to look? Right? Someone says, yeah, I'm just starting to look. Perfect. That's exactly what our site is for. Hey, so while I have you, what's prompting you to look? Does that help, Sue? Watch what happens when you do that, right? And if you don't use our opening line, Sue, I'll pop it up here in a minute. You need to use our opening line because we give them the excuse of I'm just looking. Looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? "Ah, I'm just browsing." When you hand them their excuse, their wall comes down. Then we have a direct line of sight to build rapport. Okay, another one is I have a realtor. So if you're asking if they have an agent, stop immediately, please. Okay, that's the first step. If you're asking if they have an agent, stop immediately. Remember, them saying they have an agent doesn't mean A, they signed an agreement, and then B, they're telling you that just because they have fear as well, and they're just trying to get off the phone. But let's say if they do actually have an agent, all I say is this. Hey, look, I totally get it. What if I were able to send you some off-market properties that checked off all your boxes? Do you want me to send them over to you? They're going to say, yeah. All right, perfect. Look, I don't want to send you a bunch of useless emails. I know we definitely get enough of those. So tell me a little bit more about what are these boxes you're trying to check off? How many bedrooms? Okay, so I'll do it one more time. Hey, you know what, John, we're actually working with an agent. Okay, look, I totally get it. Let me ask you this though. If I were to find some off-market properties that checked off all of your boxes, do you want me to send that on over to you? Yeah, for sure. All right, perfect. I don't want to send you a bunch of useless emails. I know we both get enough of those. So tell me a little bit more about these boxes. What are you trying to check off? How many bedrooms? Let's start there. And what you'll find is that one of two things will happen. One is that they lied. They don't have an agent. And so at the end of it, they're going to say, you know what? I'd be willing to talk with you though, because you're going to ask better questions and deeper questions, as long as you're using our script and our framework, than any other agent. Or number two is maybe they are working with an agent. But once again, you still ask better questions, actually like going deeper into the meaning behind why they're making a move and investigating that side of it versus just being a door opener or, how many bedrooms, how many bathroom type of question asker. So you went deeper, therefore you created more value because you found a true solution to their problem. So one of two things will happen. As I said, they'll either come out and say, okay, I don't have an agent, or you know what, I'm not really getting what I want from that agent. Let's have a session, or let's have an appointment. Or number two is they really are working with the agent, but they find a way why the agent is dropping the ball, and you will get a call back within 2 weeks. All right, so that's the best way to handle that. Any questions on that, Sue? Let me know. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm having trouble actually reaching people on the phone, keep getting voicemail. So the first step is don't leave a voicemail. I'm not sure if you are, don't leave a voicemail. Okay. Number two would be when you're calling, are you calling at the same time every week? So if that's the case, you need to change up your call times. But then number three, keep going. Like how many people have you called that went to voicemail? Like what's the numbers? Have you tracked that? Can you tell me, hey, I called 700 people and 650 of them went to voicemail? Because I want to know real numbers. We have a cognitive distortion called, well, there's one called all or nothing, but this one's called overgeneralization. So when you overgeneralize something, what that is, man, nobody wants to talk today, but yet you talked to 2 people that said they didn't want to talk. Man, nobody's picking up. You only called 50 people, right? So that's just, it's a very normal process for us to go through when we have the cognitive distortion of overgeneralizing. So how many people have you called to actually say people aren't picking up, right? What did those numbers look like versus how many people are picking up? So what gets inspected gets respected. What gets inspected gets respected. So you want to figure that out. And then, like I said, the other part of it is, are you calling the same time every single day or every single week? Because if you're calling the same time, they know you're calling, right? It's like that car warranty company that keeps calling you at the same time, I want to make sure that you aren't calling at the same time because they will avoid that number. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let me know if that helped. Let's see, next one. I was just looking, or I did not register. All right, first, make sure you're not asking, hey, I saw you registered, or hey, I saw you signed up. Eliminate that. Who here says that? Who here says, hey, I saw you signed up, or I saw you registered? Sometimes you might not even realize you're saying that. That is a big no-no, right? Guilty. I love it. And it's being honest here. This is where we gotta plug the holes in the ship before we set sail. And what I mean is I'm not gonna tell you guys, hey, do all this stuff, right? Without like actually identifying, well, what are you doing that you shouldn't be doing first? Right? What are you doing that you shouldn't be doing first? So yeah, we don't want to say, hey, I saw you signed up, I saw you registered. No, I didn't sign up for anything. I didn't register for anything. Like, no, homie. I just saw that, like, you literally did this 2 minutes ago. And that just goes back to the fear, right? Humans were made up of the fear mindset still, and we have cavemen, cavewomen minds. And what that means is this: person feels fear, person runs, right? Natural. This happens at a very subconscious level. This happens at a very quick time frame. I'm talking milliseconds. So when human feels fear, which is sold, they feel like they're gonna be sold, right? They don't want to be sold. They all of a sudden say, no, I need to run. Well, how do we run on a phone call? Either hang up or give an excuse. When you're handing the excuse on a silver platter, it's way too easy. It's hard to come back from. So they feel fear. They hear a way to get out of it, which is, I saw you registered, so you signed up, and boom, they gave you that excuse. No, I didn't. You know, people I set appointments with that I talked to other people and they're like, yeah, they said that they didn't sign up. They said that they didn't register. Or that's, you know, also you don't say their name, right? You don't say their name because that's another key reason why people are saying that's not them. Hey, is this John? No, it's not John. Fear, run, right? Fear, run. So when you tell somebody, when you give somebody that on a silver platter, they're going to use it. And it happens at a very quick millisecond time frame. It's not even a breath. And all of a sudden they come out with the excuse. So you don't say their name either. All right. Let's see. And by the way, if they do say, oh, no, I didn't register, just like out of the blue. It's like, oh, well, it looks like here, this email address and this number registered for some homes over in Destin. That's where I am, Destin, Florida. Homes over in Destin. So while I have you, looking to make a move, or are you just browsing? Like, get them one more time. Yeah, you know, I was just browsing. Perfect. That's exactly what the site is for. Hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? But if you don't ask them that again, or you try to debate that they registered, you're not going to win, right? So it's like, oh, looks like here I got, you know, john@gmail.com and this phone number that I was looking for homes over in Destin. So I was just giving you a call. Are you looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? No, I was just browsing. Perfect. It's exactly what the site is for. While I have you, what's prompting you to browse? Hey, while I have you, why are you browsing? Does that help for the making sure that you don't say that I saw that you registered or signed up, as well as if they just come out and say how to overcome that. Lana says they do not qualify to buy. How do they know? And how do you know? I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just saying, are you asking deeper questions? Guys, write this down, pen and paper. Clarity creates conversion. Write this down. Confidence creates conversion. So when someone says, you know, I don't qualify. Let's just say that's the one that Lana put. Interesting. Tell me more. What do you mean you don't qualify? Well, I don't have the right credit score. Interesting. So when's the last time you get your credit checked, and by who? Oh, you know, Credit Karma. And, you know, it said I was a 660. Right? They don't know. They think they need to have a 720 maybe. So just getting really good at asking clarifying questions will create way more money for your bank account. That's a guarantee. But if they really aren't qualified, then it's be the person that could help them get qualified, right? Be the liaison between them and the credit repair company. Therefore, they come back to you. But one of the coolest parts is that they become walking evangelists. What I mean is they're actually going to be your billboards out there saying, yeah, I'm buying next year. John's helping me buy a home, but right now we're just fixing our credit up. We're using this company. Oh, I'm actually looking to go ahead and buy a home. What's John's number? You will find the people who are helping fix their credit or whatever it might be are your marketing material out there. Let's see. I am too nice sometimes and not wanting to be pushy or more aggressive. Okay, so I want to talk on this for a second because I think this is super important. So I am too nice sometimes and don't want to be pushy. All right, like let's get the nice out of there and let's just talk about the pushy because that's the real issue, right? You don't want to be pushy or aggressive, and I get that, and I respect that. But I also look at it and say, if you really want to be nice, you'd serve them, right? If you really want to be nice, if you want to provide them, the best person to work with, and you think it's you, in order to be nice, you got to serve them. In order to serve them, you have to sell them. It's not about, I don't want to be pushy. It's about helping guide them through the transaction, get them clarity. Right? I'd never force anybody to make an offer, right? I never force anybody to set an appointment. I just provide as much guidance and clarity as possible, so it's a no-brainer for them. Right? I'm not pushing it. Hey, look, I'm not going to ask you to go buy a house tomorrow. I just want to make sure you got the right person with the right skill set and strategy for the right time. Is that fair? All right. Does that sound pushy? No. All right. And I always tell everybody, look, in order to serve you, I have to sell you. If I don't sell you, I cannot serve you. Therefore, somebody else might serve you, and it may not be the experience you deserve. Is that fair? Does that make sense? All right. He said, can you repeat again? Yeah. So if they say, or if you feel you're not being, that you don't want to be pushy, there's a few ways around it. Once again, one is just saying, look, I'm not going to ask you to go buy a house tomorrow, or I'm not going to ask you to go list your home tomorrow. It's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is to make sure that you got the right person with the right strategy and skill set for the right time. Is that fair? Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Also, going back to that, you could always say, if you feel like you don't want to be pushy, I love using, hey, look, the next step in the process is super simple. It's going to set up a quick 20-minute Zoom call. And then we can go ahead and show you kind of our strategy, what that looks like, and how we can help you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish and reach those goals. Does that work? That works. Does that sound pushy at all? Does that sound pushy? Yes or no? Be honest. Right? And the reason why it comes off the way it comes off in the way I'm saying it is because I truly know that if I don't even ask for the business because I don't want to be too pushy or I'm too nice, I'm never going to get their business. I'm like, they're not just going to be like, hey, John, want to work with me? Not until they actually had the experience of working with me for the most part. Right? If an opportunity, doesn't knock, you got to knock. You got to do the knocking. It's not going to be very often where opportunities come to you. Now, once you start building stuff up, yeah, absolutely. Right. You got your SOI and everything else for sure. Yeah, right. And Laura says better than not trying at all. Like you got to ask for the business, but do it in a way of just making sure that they have clarity that they got the right person in their corner for the biggest transaction of their life, or one of the biggest transactions of their life. All right, let's see. I got a few other ones that got dropped in here. I'm sorry, I'm looking here. All right, so waiting for the market to slow down is a huge one. All right, so I like this one. So like this one you could use either like market slowing down or market crashing, right? Oh, I'm waiting for the market to crash. I'm waiting for the market to slow down. You don't want to debate with them. Now you can, it's like, and like at first that's why I kind of tried of like, you got that magic ball? You got that magic ball that says what's going to happen? Because if you do, man, I got a lot of investors that would love to hear, what the magic ball says. Now that doesn't always come off right? Because that's a confrontation. You don't want to have a conversation over the phone, even though you're having fun with it. You don't know. So the best way is when they say, I'm just waiting for the market to slow down, or I'm just waiting for the market to crash. All right, perfect. Hey, look, let's do this. Let's just take the market crash and market slowing down, whatever it might be. Let's take that and just put it to the side for 1 second. What had you looking in the first place? And I just stop. I'm silent and I pause because there's power in pauses, right? So I'll say it again. They say, I'm just waiting for the market to crash. I don't know if it's the right time, blah, blah, blah. I totally get it. Why don't we do this? Let's take the market crashing, market needing to slow down, whatever it might be. Let's put it to the side for a second and tell me, why did you start looking in the first place? Well, we're looking to go ahead and downsize. We're empty nesters now, and it's just a lot of houses to keep up with, and blah, blah, blah. And I go right into the script from there. And what you'll find is when you literally tell them, let's put that objection to the side, you then have a moment that you can dig deeper into the meaning, into why they started looking. What I always say is that when you can find a strong enough meaning, you could beat any excuse. Right? That's anything in life. When you find a strong enough reason, it'll beat out any excuse. So it's up to you to find that strong meaning. They're not going to tell you right away. You got to pull it out of them by asking better questions to get better results. I pull it out of them, ask them these good questions, find that deep enough meaning, and then say, hey, look, I'm not going to ask you to buy a house that's so crazy and put you in a predicament that's not, you don't feel comfortable with. What I do want to be able to get you, insert motivation here, and hopefully have that opportunity sooner rather than later, but at least give you the clarity that you're working with the right person to help you accomplish that. How does that sound? All right, any questions on that? Do you guys get that? Do you understand? Because that is a huge one. That is one that a lot of people are coming up against. I get it. Any questions on that one? All right, let's cruise through here. Just going through. Let's see. Never mention your company name in the opening. That's right, Bill. Do not mention the company name in the opening. If you say the word real estate, they run. Remember, they think of real estate agents as used car salesmen. They don't want to be sold, right? Until they need to be sold. So when you say their opening line, you say, hey, this is John with ABC Realty, right? When you say this is John with ABC, then they hear the word real estate or anything in generalize that people will hear, and it hits that trigger of being sold or thinking of a perspective of a real estate agent. That's their out. That's their out, and that is their excuse. So we don't want to say that. Let's see. Sue says, I start to talk and they hang up. Here is the big thing about when you start to talk and they hang up. Your opening line is not that good, probably. Or you don't have enough confidence. One of the two. Your opening line is not that good, or you don't have confidence, or it's a mixed bag of both. And that's just being honest with you guys, right? If you call and you're like, hey, this is Sue with ABC, and I'm calling because you're looking at some homes and just seeing if I can do to help you out with, hang up. Right? I'll show you the opening line here in a second. And we go over it a bunch on these calls. So this is your first time doing it. Obviously, I want to show it to you guys, but those who jumped on for a while understand what our opening line is, but it's always good to have a refresher. So I will pop up the opening line in 1 minute. But yeah, so what I would do, this is what I highly, highly suggest, is I would start to inspect and count every person that hangs up on you. If you call and talk to 15 people and 10 of them hang up on you before you get into a conversation, you know that you're not confident with your opening line. I'll be honest, like your opening line may like not even be the greatest, but if you have great confidence, you won't get hung up on as much. Long term, it's not going to help, but if you have higher confidence, you won't get hung up on as much. And how do you get confidence? You practice, and then you practice some more, and you keep practicing and practicing and practicing. Nobody on this call can be the best at what they do unless they practice on a regular basis. Don't try to convince me otherwise, please. You do not become great by just showing up on game day. It doesn't work that way. Show me one person that just showed up on game day and was great every single time, or a great majority of times. It doesn't happen. All right, let's see what else. What is the opening line? Yes, hold on. I will show that. How would you open with them? All right. Okay, here we go. Opening line coming your way in 3, 2, 1. All right. So first off, this is the 5 W's to win the game before it starts. Have you guys seen this? Yes or no? And are you guys implementing this? I know some of you guys have been on here. The 5 W's to win the game before it starts. Let's see. Anthony says, of course. First time, no. All right, I'm going to hit this very quickly, but it seems like a lot of people have not. So if you guys haven't been to our conversion day, highly recommend you guys get there, please. We get this screen. Yeah, I'll move that. Give me a thumbs up if that screen is gone, the gray screen. Yes. All right, cool. Perfect. So if you guys do not, if you guys have not, I'm sorry, come to one of our conversion days or CINC used, highly recommended. Highly recommended. We'll be in Tampa this month. We'll be in, I don't know where next month, maybe somebody on here is who, Christine, I think you're on here. I know we'll be in Tampa this coming month, and we have tickets left, but it's a 3-day event. And the last day is a straight 7 hours conversion. We actually make real dials to your database and make real time money. But this is how we always talk about before even starting a phone call. All right, what's the goal? Right, if you're just getting on a call to make calls, you're losing. You have to activate your activating system. And what that is, your RAS, it's what you focus on expands. Very small example. You buy a new car. When you buy that new car, during the process of it, do you see more or less of those cars on the road? More. Why is that? It's because you started focusing on it. But it's not like just that basic. It's because you've activated a piece of your brain called an RAS, reticular activating system, that when you focus on something, it ignites, it lights up, it fires this activation to find it more often, right? Oh, find it. So when we don't understand what the goal is, 2 set appointments, our brain says, find a way to set 2 appointments, find a way to set 2 appointments. First, if we don't have any goal, the brain says, find a way to get through these damn dials and be done, right? That's just the way it works. So we have to understand what the goal is. Next is the why. This is huge because we want to make sure that not only do we have a deep-rooted why, but we have a 12-week why. What in the next 12 weeks do you want to accomplish that's going to take money? And why is it important for you? And who will it impact? Right? We just built our pool in the backyard. And I remember, like clear as day, that was such a strong driver for me because I knew I wanted to take a certain part of my business and I wanted to say these transactions, these things are going to pay for our pool. Nothing else. It's just going to be these. Get really focused on it, right? And understand a strong enough meaning and it'll beat the excuses like we said before. Next is a sales journal. What I said before, what gets inspected gets respected. What gets inspected gets respected. So if you're just calling your leads and not writing down where you did well, what you did bad, what the issues were, things you did phenomenal that you want to continually do phenomenal, you're not going to be able to capture that. Going back to sports, NFL plays on Sunday. What do they do on Monday? They watch film. So what film are you watching? What film do you watch? If you're not taking the time to watch, if you're not recording phone calls, I would definitely look into that because that's one of the best ways to hear really what you're saying and how you're saying it. And I'm not telling you it's going to be pretty. I've been a part of those where even some of mine where I've set appointments, it wasn't good, but I had such high confidence that I still set the appointment. And I'm like, how the hell did I set that appointment with saying all those things? Because the confidence overrode it, right? So sales journal, have a little sales journal next to you, write down the good, the bad. And then if you're running a team, and even if you're not, every Monday, you should have a playbook meeting. You should block down your calendar where you review your playbook, review the sales journal. Next is wow, state, energy. This is one of the most undervalued tools in life in general. Energy is so crucial for success. So crucial. And when I sit there and I talk about it on conversion day, we go through a whole process, but I tell everybody, Kurt, energy is not just volume. Look, I'm originally from Jersey. Yes, I live here in Destin, Florida now, but originally from Jersey. I'm Italian. I can get loud, right? I can get, my volume can go up. We got a 2-month-old. My wife's always like, do you know how to like dial it down? Like, this is my normal voice. Like, you should, I don't talk at all. Or I guess when I talk, it's too loud. And so how do we get really good energy? It's not just about volume, but it's about tonality. It's about pauses. It's about creating empathy in the conversation, curiosity. Right? Think about when you guys listen to maybe somebody read a story. Are you more engaged when that person is reading the story, kind of one level? Or are you more engaged when that person is taking you through this story and this journey as if you could almost see it, you could feel it, right? And it's usually that part. And how are they doing that? Their volume isn't much higher. Maybe at moments it is, but in general, it's not higher. It goes up and down and it goes left and right. And it brings you in and lets you go and brings you in and lets you go. Well, that's the same thing with sales. You need to have that energy that could make people want to listen, bring people in. And the way to do that is making sure, hey, you have enough water. I know it sounds crazy. Making sure you got your morning done, that you took care of you. I know it sounds crazy. Making sure that you have all your tabs in your brain and your computer closed and you're focused on one thing, and that is having that conversation with that person. Because the moment you get taken away, the moment your energy shifts is the moment more than likely you start to lose that person. We've been there before. You guys are probably on this call right now and we're engaged and you had a bleep, bloop, some notification popped up, you went away and you came back, and now it's you're having a hard time getting back into the groove of this call. It happens all the time. So we got to make sure our energy is massively, massively uplifted. And yeah, volume works for sure, but you're not gonna be screaming at the person all the time, but you got to have excitement. But tonality, pauses, curiosity, and empathy. That's real energy. And really making it authentic. Don't do it as like a fake, like trying to make it. No, be authentic and try to actually care about that person on the other end, like I know you guys do, by being in that moment of that conversation. The most important conversation that you're having is what? Besides the one in your brain, right? Besides the one with yourself, it's the one you're currently having. That's the most important conversation in that moment. Be there. And last but not least is winning, confidence. And we get that, as I said before, practicing, practicing, practicing. Right? I always talk about getting in a batting cage before stepping up to the plate. And then I also talk about getting on the batter's box before, the on deck circle before the batter's box. So there's 3 processes. Okay. You have batting cage, which is getting in there and it's like a lot of reps, a lot of reps, a lot of reps. Then you got your on deck circle, which is going ahead and it's a lot less time, but it's very precise and it's very, okay, swinging a heavier bat, swinging a heavier bat. Then it's getting into the batter's box and hit a damn home run. You don't hit the home run if you don't go into the on deck circle and truly get into flow, get that swing going, right? It's getting into flow state, getting that body movement. You can't get really good at getting into flow state and swinging, making those practice swings like the way you should if you're not getting into batting cages. It all comes back. You want confidence, got to practice. You're not going to step up to the plate like, woohoo, I got this. And you have not practiced your scripting and your framework at all this month. It should be a non-negotiable that 30 minutes every single day, 15 minutes every day, 15 minutes a day. Like if you can't commit to 15 minutes of mastering your craft, your why is not deep enough. I don't care what fear there is. Honestly, if you can't take 30 minutes to master your craft, to make more money and make more impact, you just don't have a clear enough identification of why you're doing this. Is that fair to say? Okay. All right. So let's roll to the opening line. Okay, I'm going to open this chat really quick, see if anybody said anything. What is the opening line? Sue, I'm getting to the opening line. Come on now. Hold on. I'm getting to it, guys. I'm getting to it. I just wanted to prepare you guys. Hold on. Let's see. Denver and May. Thanks, Steve. I knew I was missing something. All right, cool. Here we go. Opening line. So I'll walk you through it and then we'll do it as far as like how it should sound. Hey, this is John with the Home Search site. I noticed you were looking over in Destin at some homes. Just curious, are you looking to make a move in the next few months or just browsing? Key things here. Don't say their name, but we say ours, okay? I don't use the site's actual domain name or whatever source it's from. Doesn't make a difference what source it is. We're using home search site because they're on 20 sites. And if we say, hey, you know, I know this, that you were looking on X site, what do they say? Oh, I wasn't on that site. Okay. I say Destin because I'm bringing in relevance to their search. Now, if you don't have their favorite city, that's fine. You could just say maybe like an area, right? DFW. Or for us, it'd be like the Emerald Coast or Panhandle. Here, I'm saying homes, not houses. Homes are for buyers, brings an emotion in that we want. Houses are for sellers, brings an emotion out, right? Pulling that emotion away. Just curious, looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? Now, I know a lot of you guys said, man, I keep getting that, you know, just looking or just browsing as my objection. It's not an objection anymore. We're putting it out there for them, right? We're setting them up. We're alley-ooping it. There you go, take it. Because we're going to come in with this part. And they say, yeah, I'm just browsing. Perfect. That's exactly what the site is for. Hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? All right, so I'm going to go through it, and then I'm going to see what questions you guys have on it. All right, so you call, good energy. Hey, this is John with the home search site. I noticed you were looking over in Destin at some homes. Just curious, you looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? I'm just browsing. Perfect. That's exactly what the site is for. Hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? All right, I'm going to say it again, and I want you guys to pick up some key things. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what those key things are. This is where you guys gotta listen. All right. Hey, this is John with the home search site. I noticed you were looking over in Destin at some homes. Just curious, you looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? I'm just browsing. Okay, I'm gonna stay there. What did you guys pick up out of that? What did you guys pick up out of that? Let's see. Energy. Okay. Yep. What else? There's a few things. Tonality. Yep. No, Laura, we did not mention, yep, voice inflection. Yep. You paused. Not being pushy. Yeah. Stress certain words. All right. Good. So you guys see it. Now I'm going to kind of show you where I put those things and why. Okay. And what the importance of it is. But I did see a question come up. Laura said, do you mention your brokerage name? Let's see, Laura with X really calling you because you inquired about a property online. If you want to, if you just want to see it, if you're still in the market to purchase a home. Yeah, get rid of that if you don't mind. We're not going to say a brokerage name at all. Make things super simple. Success loves speed and simplicity. So no, now if they're coming in off of an inquiry of like, hey, 123 Main Street, then you still just say home search site, right? Hey, just John the home search site. I know that you're looking at 123 Main Street and wanted to take a look at it. We could definitely show you that home, Laura, but real quick, because they might have some other things to send over to you that make sense. What was it about that home that you loved? Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm going to bring in what I said a little bit more for you guys to see. So when I said, so just curious, you looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? That right there is gold. So when I say looking to make a move and I elongate the word move, okay? But then I drop. So it's called the clarity drop. I'm sorry, it's called the curiosity drop. So it goes, looking to make a move, right? Heighten in the next few months, or are you just browsing? Boom. So it's in a moment where we heighten that word to when we have that drop. Think about like a roller coaster, right? Boom, 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 boom. Looking to make a move and then come back down. We're just browsing. That is what we call curiosity tonality. So that curiosity tonality creates more of a non-intimidating conversation, more of a, hey, I just want to talk, right? Not pushy. But if you were to say, just curious, you looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? Really robotic, right? Really salesy versus, hey, you looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? And voice inflection goes down. They say, just browsing. Perfect. That's exactly what the site is for. Well, I have you. What's prompting you to browse? So I'm going to say that one more time. Now you understood the top part, which crushed it, guys. Good job. Let's talk about the second part. Okay. And tell me what you guys hear. They say just browsing. Perfect. That's exactly what the site is for. Hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? Okay, what did you guys pick up there? One more time. I'm just browsing. Perfect. That's exactly what the site is for. Hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? What did you guys pick up? Roxanne said you held on the word perfect. Yeah, and perfect could be any word for you, right? Amazing, phenomenal. Whatever word like you say, that's like your exclamation word, put that there. Tone. Okay, what else? So the tone is the key part, but it's how I did it. And I threw something else in there. Okay, so I'll do it one more time. Perfect. That's exactly what the site is for. Hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? The curiosity drop. Yep. When I said, I'm not saying, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? Right? I drop when I say browse, it drops down. Okay. Yeah, agreeing with them without being aggressive. And I threw something else in there. Okay. And then I'll do it one more time and then I'll tell you what it was. Perfect. That's exactly what the site is for. Hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? I threw the word in there. All right, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? That little what's right, prompting you to browse, that creates way more of a conversation and way less salesy. And what it does actually throws them into a non-defensive mode. Because if you're like, well, I have you, what's prompting you to browse? That's very, very salesy, right? But that's also intimidating because you're asking like a salesy type question versus, hey, while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? All right. Any questions on this opening line? We got about 5 minutes here. So I want to know what questions do you guys have on this opening line? Seems a lot more fluent. This opening line, look, 80% of your objections, guys, I think it's like 70 something. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. I think it was like 77% of your objections are coming from your opening line. It's coming from your opening line. If you guys can nail this, man, what a game changer, right? And then get really good at just asking deeper questions, asking 3 whys for every what. That's the game changer. So I would challenge you to start practicing this every single day. Start practicing this every day. Make your own little flavor on it, right? And then go ahead and get in the batting cage, but then also get into the on deck circle and then make your dials. You need to be making dials right after role play. That's another key thing to success in sales. Making dials after the role play. So we want the in there. Look, that's the way I speak, right? And that's a great question, Deborah. If that's right for you, then that's fine. But when I say, while I have you, right, what's prompting you to browse? If there is a word like or that's just part of your vocabulary, say it, right? Like, don't be afraid that the whole gurus are like, don't say the word and I'm just not a fan of that. And we've been doing this for quite some time. And what we're doing is working. And the reason why they're saying that is because they want you to have a perfect vocabulary. Well, guess what? When you try to have perfect vocabulary and you don't have it because you haven't practiced enough or perfect isn't real, you then feel this guilt and this shame that it's not coming off perfect. So therefore you don't do it at all and you avoid it. Someone says, how do you suggest practicing? Just talking to yourself, practicing out loud and recording it? Yes, yes, and yes. Yep. So out loud, definitely out loud to yourself, record it, right? Get a spouse, get a friend, get somebody in the same community. But it's gotta be a must. So yeah, that's huge. That's huge. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up here in a few minutes. So here's what I'm going to ask for you guys. First off, I want to know, was today's call valuable? And if it was, what were one of your takeaways from the beginning to the end? Drop one of your bigger takeaways into the chat from beginning to end. We talked about the win wall. We talked about, am I good enough? We talked about opening lines, talked about what not to say. We talked about a lot of stuff in this quick hour-long call. All right, drop your biggest takeaways on there. And if you need me, as I said before, reach out to me on Instagram. Is usually my easiest way to connect with me, at Real John Marone. And it's MARRONE. I would love to see your win wall, even if it's just one thing to start. Go ahead, tag me in it. Let me see it. I want to see, I want to celebrate with you. I want to cheer you on. Right here at CINC, we want to make sure that we're helping you between the whistles, not just on these calls. All right, so let's see some takeaways. Opening line, need to practice more. No brokerage mention. What gets inspected gets respected. How to overcome agent objection. Yes. Right person, right skills, right time. Open line. Here we go. Boom. I love it. Okay, and I love for everybody, obviously, what's my Instagram again? Hold on. I'll just post it in here. Way easier. What I want to do too is I'm going to drop something else in this chat. So hang on. So I just dropped the Instagram handle. You guys can go ahead and hit me up there. I would love to see that win wall or any questions on it. Obviously, reach out to me. All right. So let me go here really quick. If you have not done so, one of the best things you could do for yourself is this right here. I'm going to drop it in here. Here's one of the best things you can do for yourself. Get over to cincommunity.com/CINC University. Look, it's a game changer when you can come see us face to face, meet us, but really sit in for 3 days of complete immersion, 2 days of what to do in the system, and then 1 day of conversion. It will be a game changer for you in more ways than one. Right? Way more ways than one. I'm talking about not just business, but life, mindset, everything. So if you actually are going to come, make sure you play all out. One thing I always say is get ready to come play all out because that's really how you get the most out of it. So we are in, I think Steve dropped it in there, but we are in Tampa this month. Man, it's like 10 days away. All right. Tampa this month. We got Denver in May, Atlanta in June, Toronto in July, Asheville, North Carolina. Then we have a few others in the fall. So Tampa, Denver, Atlanta, Toronto, Asheville. Go there. If you don't have to be there, just go ahead and take a flight, drive your car, whatever it might be. I promise you, if you come there, you will have an experience that will change your results. So I appreciate everybody jumping on here. If you need me, like I said, hit me up on Instagram. I hope to see you guys at one of our events. But if I don't hear from you, if I don't see you, then I'll definitely see you guys in 2 weeks on the next conversion call. Go crush it. Q2 started 3 days ago. Let's go ahead and let's kick Q1's butt and dominate Q2. Let's go.